Hello everyone, you have joined my English class. I am teacher Shumona and I am going to teach you Julius Caesar Act 2 Scene 1 to be continued after what I had done in the last class. So all the conspirators, they have come to Brutus's house, and they are it is during the night, we all know, because Brutus was spending a sleepless night in his orchard. Why was he spending a sleepless night in his orchard? That's because due to the persuasion procedure of Cassius, he was extremely disturbed because he did not want to murder Caesar because he loved Caesar, but on the other hand he loved Rome much more than Caesar, and he was in a terrible mental turmoil, in a state of mental turmoil, and he felt that he was in a state of disturbance, and that is the reason he could not sleep, so he was in his orchard. So meanwhile, what he did was he called Lucius and his attendant. He called Lucius, and he asked him to light a candle or a taper inside in his study. Lucius comes back to him telling him that he has got a paper on his windowsill, and they were written we just know that Cassius, he has planned to write on many bits of paper all good things about Brutus, what the Romans they think about Brutus, and the Romans are all on they hold Brutus in a terribly high esteem, and they want him to come and save him from the tyrannical situation created by Caesar. So Lucius, he brings one such bit of paper to Brutus. So Brutus sees it in the, how does he read it? How is he able to read it? He is able to read it with the light which is coming from the meteors flashing in the sky. The meteors flashing in the sky help Brutus to read that bit of paper. Alright, so there also the subject matter is the same. People are wanting Brutus to arise and awake, and to, as if to tell him to come to become aware of whatever quality he has. It is the same thing of what the same type of persuasion of what Cassius has done. Actually, it is Cassius who has written up in various handwritings on different bits of paper and has sent it through Brutus's window. So now all the conspirators, they are there in his house. They knock his door and they come in. Lucius opens and they come in, and he is able to see that they are the conspirators who come in by the dark of the night, but with themselves all covered up. Their heads are covered up with cloak, and they are just so that nobody is able to recognize them. All right. Now Brutus, he says that he asks them, he comes, allows them to come in, and they have a talk they are having a discussion, and we will be continuing with the discussion they were amidst. Okay. Brutus, give me your hands all over one by one. I have begun from line number 112, Act 2, Scene 1. Brutus, give me your hands all over one by one. What does it mean? That they are all planning to take an oath. But no, Brutus doesn't mean that. He perhaps means that they are all assembled together, and he wants them to come together as if their mentality is matching. So they have decided to work together. So he is asking them to give me your hands all over one by one. Cassius says, and let us swear our resolution. So Cassius says, well, let us swear our resolution, which means he says that we have to take our oath now. But Brutus says, no, not an oath. So look at this is the time when Brutus is contradicting with Cassius. You just mark out, Brutus is contradicting with Cassius. He is not, he's just refusing to listen to him. And Brutus, he speaks with authority, and he overrules what Cassius has just said. Cassius wants everybody to take a resolution or an oath, but Brutus is against it. He says, no, not an oath. If not the face of men, the sufferings of our souls, the time's abuse, if these be motives weak, break off betimes. That is, if the sufferings of everybody around us, if the sufferings of all the people, the time's abuse, the misuse of the time which is going on, and if these be motives weak, if these are motives weak enough, so let us break away. Let us part our ways. Let us not be into this motive to kill Caesar. That means we don't know what objective we are up to. And every man hence to his idle bed. So every man here, please go back to your bed and lie down. All right. Now, let high-sighted tyranny range on. High-sighted tyranny, that is tyranny which suppose you are looking at tyranny from a height. If you are looking at tyranny from a height, then you are obviously if you are in a power, in a situation where you are in a state of great power, you have attained a great power. So who is he saying this about? He is saying this about Julius Caesar. He is saying this about Julius Caesar, and he is saying that because Caesar has attained a high position, so let high-sighted tyranny range on. Let him do whatever he wants to, and let us all suffer till each man drop by lottery. So till each man drop down dead by lottery, drop down, that is get finished off by the will of the dictator. Here he is talking about Caesar, by the whim of the dictator. But if these, as I am sure they do, bear fire enough to kindle cowards, that is, these, whatever is happening around us is very, they are very strong enough to kindle cowards. Even cowards get kindled. The cowards get enraged. Those who have no power to refute, they get enraged. So we should also. But if these, as I am sure they do, bear fire enough to kindle cowards, and to steal with valor the melting spirits of women. Women are supposed to be very weak. They are taken to be very weak. Now, women are said to have melting spirits. Well, if women are said to have melting spirits, then the women also, they have these, whatever is going on around us, they can kindle cowards, and to steal with valor the melting spirits of women. Even the women with very soft hearts, they will also get motivated. Then, countrymen, do we need any spur? That is, do we need anything more to kindle us, to get motivated? But our own cause to prick us to redress. So we have our own cause to stand upright and to get ready to do something about it. So that means he comes to the point that an oath need not be taken. What other bond than secret Romans that have spoke the word and will not falter? That is, we are secret Romans who have said a word and will not falter. We will not break our promise. That is, we will not go back on our words. Okay. And we will not be cheating or deceiving each other. What other oath than honesty to honesty engaged? Here one honest man is giving word to another honest man. No, there is no other oath more powerful than this, is what Brutus feels. Swear priests and cowards and men Catullus. Priests and cowards, they swear. Crafty men, Catullus, crafty men, they swear. Old feeble carrions and such suffering souls that welcome wrongs. unto bad causes swear. Such creatures as men doubt, but do not stain the even virtue of our enterprise, nor the insuppressive metal of our spirits. So we are definitely much powerful than the weak hearts, and we will not cheat each other, and we will be determined, and we know our job. Such creatures as men doubt, but do not stain the even virtue of our enterprise. So whatever we are up to, we should not stain the even the virtue of our enterprise, that is of our motive, nor the insuppressive metal of our spirits. So our metal, we are not in a state to get suppressed or dominated by anything. We have our spirit is indomitable. All right. To think that or our cause or our performance did need an oath. That is, to think that this reason we needed an oath for this, when every drop of blood that the Roman bears, every drop of blood that we bear and nobly bears is guilty of a several bastardy. That is, if we are true Romans, if he do break the smallest particle of any promise that had passed from him, so whatever we have, whatever promise we have taken, we know our motive, we know what work we are up to, and if we are true Romans, we will definitely keep up to our promise. Cassius, but what of Cicero? Shall we sound him? I think he will stand very strong with us. Casca, let us not leave him out. Cinna, no, by no means. Metellus, oh, let us have him, for his silver hairs will purchase us a good opinion, and by men's voices to commend our deeds. It shall be said that his judgment ruled our hands. Our youth and wideness shall no whit appear, but all he buried in his gravity. So, we being the men's voices commend our deeds, it shall be said that his judgment ruled our hands, because he is a natured person. So if we have him, it will be said that his motive, because he is a natured man, he has guided us, and he has our youth and wideness, or whatever mistake we may be making, that will not be considered, but all be buried in his gravity, in his personality. Brutus, oh, name him not, let us not break with him, for he will never follow anything that other men begin. For Brutus says, oh, name him not, let us not break with him, for he will never follow anything that other men begin. Cassius, then leave him out. Casca, indeed he is not fit. Decius, shall no man else be touched but only Caesar? Decius says, shall no man else be touched but only Caesar? Cassius says, Decius, well urged. I think it is not meet Mark Antony, so well beloved of Caesar, should outlive Caesar. That is, Cassius does not want Mark Antony to live after Caesar. After they have assassinated and killed Caesar, Cassius does not want Mark Antony to continue living. We shall find of him a shrewd contriver. He is a very, very cunning plotter. Cassius is talking of Mark Antony. And you know his means. If he improved them, and you know the qualities he has in himself, and if he improves them, if he works on them, may well stretch so far as to annoy us all. May stretch very far. To annoy us all means to harm us all. Which to prevent, and in order to prevent that, let Antony and Caesar fall together. So in order to prevent that, let Antony and Caesar be killed together. Now Brutus says, our course will seem too bloody, Cassius, to cut the head off and then hack the limbs. That is, Brutus once again overrules Cassius and says, what was the first time he overruled? When was the first time? The first time he overruled was that he refused to accept that everybody take an oath before killing Caesar. Now, the second time he is overruling Cassius is that he does not want Mark Antony to be killed along with Julius Caesar. He is comparing Caesar to the head and Mark Antony to the limb of a body. To cut the head off and then hack the limbs, like wrath in death and envy afterwards, for Antony is but a limb of Caesar. Let us be sacrificers, but not butchers. Let us be sacrificers, but not butchers, Chaos. We all stand up against the spirit of Caesar. We all stand up against the spirit of Caesar. What is the spirit of Caesar? That is against his policy of dictatorship. Oh, that we then come by Caesar's spirit and not dismember Caesar. So we are coming, we have gathering, we have determined, we have been determined, we are now determined to just ruin Brutus's spirit, means this policy of dictatorship, not him as a person, and not dismember Caesar. But alas, Caesar must bleed for it. And gentle friends, let's kill him boldly, but not wrathfully. Let's carve him as a dish fit for the gods, not hew him as a carcass fit for the hounds. And let our hearts, as subtle masters do, stir up their servants to an act of rage, and after seem to chide them. That is, and our hearts, like as subtle masters do, like making them do something, the servants, and then scolding them up. Stir the servants up to an act of rage, and afterwards chide them. Seem to chide them. This shall make our purpose necessary, and not envious, which so appearing to the common eyes. Now, our purpose, our means the conspirator's purpose, happens to be necessary. Brutus is putting it that way. It is a necessity. It has become a necessity for Rome presently to safeguard Rome's honor. He does not want it to be portrayed as an envious act, which so appearing to the common eyes, we shall be called purgers, not murderers. And for Mark Antony, think not of him, for he can do no more than Caesar's arm. So he is only Caesar's arm. When Caesar's head is cut off, then obviously the arm will not be in a position to fight. Cassius still says, yet I fear him, for in the engrafted love he bears to Caesar. For he has got a deep-rooted love for Caesar, and I fear him. Cassius fears him. So once something that we can see as a part of in Brutus's character, as a characteristic of Brutus, is that he perhaps has no practical sense of handling the situation. He is just a bit impractical.